Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Occult Chronicles. In the last video, Dr. Whom began his exploration of the manor. We bumped into a few hostilities. We've been tried to be scared off a few times. We can hear a faint heart beating somewhere in here, and we have not yet encountered any of the specific mission encounters. It'll be quite, well, you'll know them when you see them, I suppose I should say. So far, Dr. Whom has been struggling to get some experience points. We were able to raise our pentacles once. We got another point of experience. We're aiming toward a skill card to improve our cups next. We still have Sprinter level 1, PhDs 3 of 5, and I don't think we really picked up... Oh, we did pick up an Arcana card, Death, as well. That would be really nice, should we... actually be beaten up quite a bit. So far, though, our stats are okay. Let's continue with our adventure. Do we have any quests to be in this room yet? We don't. We might get a quest while we're in here. There's usually a quest here at the piano for the ballroom, but that's probably on the other side of the mansion. This is a bit awkward because we're gonna have to double all the way back around the mansion unless there's a secret passage someplace in this room. Let's explore it while we're here. You notice an odd painting hanging on the wall. It's a portrait of a man dressed in 19th century clothing who appears to be completely petrified with fear. He holds a dueling pistol in both hands, and a group of undertakers in the background seem to be digging a grave. Suddenly, the portrait seems to animate and come to life. The coward looks at you with an imploring expression as if he was seeking your help. You could swear that you can hear the gravediggers laughing. You stare at the man in the painting, and his fear seems contagious. You need to fight to keep your sanity. Let's win the challenge. I don't want to lose any sanity points if I can avoid it. Your mind was strong. In a playful way, you exclaim boo to the ghost, and he starts to shake and sob uncontrollably. The coward in the portrait seems to actually be shivering. He seems to be fumbling with his dueling pistol, and you fear he will discharge it accidentally. There is obviously a spirit trapped in the painting by some sorceress curse. So I still can't get the quest from it because I think I need one more pentacles first. We'll just flee it. Can't believe you're even thinking of this, but running from this cowardly creature might be the best course of action. It still is a supernatural apparition, so you need to conquer your own fears first. It wasn't that difficult after all. You feel a little sheepish about it, but no one else has to know. If I actually manage to get another pentacles, we'll come back for that. You see a large wood and brass gong. It looks completely out of place standing over by itself in the room. You sense immediately, though, that all is not as it seems here. You've seen enough of these things to notice the faint aura that surrounds it. You have no doubt that the gong is a sorcerer's puzzle of some sort. The markings are vague, but you would place it around the period of the Three Kingdoms. There is definitely dark magic at work here. The runes covering the wooden frame must contain the instructions on how to use the gong and access its abilities. I mean, we could decipher the runes or ring the gong right now. I don't know if we'll win the challenge right now. Let's leave it here. We'll come back here when we have more pentacles. This is probably the way down. You see a locked wooden door with a carved, grinning, ornamental skull mounted on it. The skull glares at you ominously, and you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. The skull's teeth look like they might be keys of some type. If you fail this, you end up eating a poison trap, if I recall correctly. We'll leave it here at the moment. Oh, we don't even need to actually successfully interact with it. Two creatures of shadow swirl around you. You recognize immediately that you are dealing with a type of ghostly creature that feeds off human emotions, fear and pain being the most succulent. You can either stand firm and fight them psychically, or run and hope to fight another day. I think we will shadow box them again. You throw a few jabs and notice they actively avoid the shadow of your punches. For a second they hesitate, and that's when you realize you can take them. It's going to be a bit of touch and go, though, metaphorically speaking. One face card. You shouldn't be surprised at that. Ooh. They know how to dodge your attacks and when to hit you back. They are shadows, after all. It'd be surprising if they didn't know. Ow! 2 creatures of shadow. Oh, we already read this. All right, let's do it again. That's a lot better. We'll hold on to my page. Not many people are afraid of their own shadows, let alone others. Looks like these nightmares should have been, though. That was very nice. And that courage makes up for the fleeing I had done earlier. Good God, that was... I still am kicking myself over that. Come on, Tim. You're better than that. You see the outline of its distinctive shape in the gloom. It still takes you a second or two to realize exactly what it is. A guillotine. This, however, is no normal guillotine. The mouton and blade pulled up high glistens with wet blood, and the bascule seems to beckon to you. You feel tired suddenly, and then you realize that you have somehow unknowingly taken a few more steps towards the death machine. You feel a wave of panic engulf you as you realize that this cruel instrument of death is slowly drawing you closer. You realize that you must resist its siren call, or risk losing sanity and just possibly your head. Well, we're not going to lose our head today to this, or at least not at the moment. You will your feet to stand their ground and shield your mind from whatever foul sorcery is at work here. You stand before a work of art. Polished wood and burnished brass fittings adorn the guillotine. The craftsmanship is astonishing, and the splattered blood detracts from it not at all. You can also sense the arcane curse that has bound an evil spirit to this horrible contraption. How many victims have caught sight of it, only to find themselves sleepwalking to their doom? This is the second part of a quest, so we'll just leave this alone at the moment. Okay, so... now where? That's quite a distance to run all the way back. I don't really see us having much choice. We can't go any further through the mansion on this side. So we picked up quite a few quests, but we can't actually complete any of them at the moment. We could go upstairs and take the second floor back and just stick to the hallways to see where that leads us. But, well, we're right here. Let's do this. More shadows. My goodness, there's lots of these things in here today. We'll try shadow boxing them again. That was lucky. Almost forgot to do that. Hello, little room. The bas-relief face. You've come up on a large bas-relief face mounted on the wall. Its features are worn and it looks quite old. As you stare at it, you start to feel uneasy. Suddenly, you realize that the mouth is moving its lips ever so slightly, and then you hear the mumbling. It starts as a whisper, but you can't get it out of your head as it grows in intensity. If this keeps up, you are certain that it will drive you insane. You fight to keep the mumblings from overwhelming your mind. You can't understand any of it, but the droning noises seems to want to burrow deep into your skull, and that can't be good. We'll immediately win that, at least. You begin your own chant based on a Zen relaxation technique you learned in the Orient. It works to cancel out the mumbling and clears your mind of the pain. The face on the wall looks amiable, but you know otherwise. The lips continue to move, but the mumbling is barely audible. Examining the bas-relief more closely, you notice that there is a pictograph script of some sort disguised within the frieze that encircles the face. You sense eldritch sorcery at work here. The bas-relief could be enchanted, or cursed, or merely serving as the physical nexus of some malevolent force. You realize that you should proceed with caution. So this doesn't actually do anything really for us other than give us another chance of more rewards, right? I think, we'll still end up with, these two choices at the same difficulty, or maybe even tougher. But let's do this. Decipher the pictograms. You decide to take a closer look at the strange pictograms hidden in the frieze that surrounds the bas-relief face. You think you recognize some of the symbols as variants on the Indus Valley seal stones. Perhaps you can decipher them. They might help you understand the strange mumbling, or perhaps even warn you of any danger from the eldritch sorcery that permeates the face. I'll win this. You step closer and examine the pictograms. They are indeed related to the seal stones of the Indus Valley. You piece together their meaning by recalling your training in the Odd Lost Languages lab. The eldritch creature is known as Sixglitmogath, and it has been bound to the face as punishment. The mumbling must be its attempt to communicate with you. The face of the wall looks amiable, but you know otherwise. The lips continue to move, but the mumbling is barely audible. Examining the bas-relief more closely, you notice that there's a pictograph script. Oh, we already read that a long time ago. Oh, this is actually a little easier for us to do. Alright, let's get the quest. Aware that you must proceed with caution, you focus your mind and try to attune yourself to the rhythmic cadences that issue from the lips of the bas-relief. Perhaps something can be learned from what appears to be just dangerous gibberish. You slip into a trance, and the words take shape in your mind. You are face to face with an ancient eldritch creature of terrifying power, and its name is Sixglitmogath. It is, however, trapped in the bas-relief. It wants to strike a bargain with you. The bas-relief face seems to almost be smiling at you, and it makes you uneasy. The smile belies the agony that it must be in. The mumbling's meaning now seems crystal clear. Its heart has been ripped from it and hidden somewhere in the house. The sorcery binding it cannot be broken until its heart is returned to it. It wants you to seek out the wall that weeps blood and reach inside to find and free its heart. It teaches you the words of relief and promises that you will be rewarded should you help it free itself from the face. That's right here. Now, I kinda want the heart this time around, though. That will require tricking the bas-relief if I decide to do that. First, I'm going to go back to the main menu and cut the recording really quick. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I don't like what I pick as the secondary skill card, I'm going to just undo my choice by Alt-4ing the game. Alright, so, we got enough points that we can take another skill card, and we're going to do that right now. And this choice is gonna, the choices always matter. That increases swords and wands. I want cups, something that improves cups. And preferably mostly cups. Log edges could be useful. So could evade traps edges. And just pure cups. And then we're going to probably need a pentacles skill after that. I can't remember. I think one of these was like cups once, wands once, and then cups and cups. Which would be great. That would be the type of choice I would want. Swords and wands. Especially there's like cups and pentacles. That would be fantastic. Increase cups. We did take sprinter. So maybe athletics would make sense for us. See, as we've seen before, going all in on one stat is not a good way to play the game. When we're in the basement, we're going to get slaughtered if we just go full, like, wands. So we really need something to improve our lowest stat. So I'm thinking we want mechanical devices, or probably, I guess, athletic specialist for that evade traps edges. Whichever one of these I take, we're taking some sort of sorcery specialist or talisman expert after we're done. Let's take athletics specialist. Although mechanics is nice, I'm thinking, well, then again, lock edges, that will come in really handy as we play, and just having cups would help, and defensive heroic feats would help us with traps. I don't want multiple wands, though. I would want cups. I want mostly cups to be upgraded. Oh, I don't know which one to pick, everyone. I'm sorry for doing this to you guys on screen. I mean, both of these make sense from a background perspective for how we make Doctor Whom. So, maybe... We've seen how nasty the traps are, but I know the doors are going to be bad, too. And unless we get lucky and find an axe or a crowbar, we're not going to have a great chance to get through doors. I can't make up my mind, so I have a coin here. So I will flip the coin. Heads, and I'll choose athletics. Tails, I'll choose mechanical. Tails. Mechanical devices it is. You are the youngest student to ever graduate from MIT with 3 PhDs. If there's a gadget on this planet that you can't take apart and then put back together so that it works even better, you haven't found it yet. You hate it when people call you Sparks or Q. Oh, come on. I think this is going to be wands, then cups, then wands and wands. So, I'll be back, everyone. This is not the one I'm going to choose in the end. Okay, so, because I did what I did, this means that my character has not spent those experience points. Yep, still have them. Thank God. Alright, so, I guess we're taking athletics specialist instead. I really wish it would tell me, by the way, this is going to improve to like your wands, cups, and wands and wands, because I really want my cups increased instead. I can already improve my wands over here. Alright, so, we hold the odd obstacle course record at the secret training facility known as the Meadows. Many of your fellow agents think that you are crazy in your devotion to physical fitness, but has paid off time and again. You survived mishaps that would have killed most agents. I guess that goes well with our, edge of Sprinter. Though this also went well with the other one, so, oh well. Alright, let's, keep going. And I think... this is one of the Belly and the Beast encounters. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up straight as the psychic energy in the room spikes suddenly. You look around frantically, wondering what could be causing it. You feel an evil presence growing quickly. A voice speaks into your head. Get out! Suddenly, the wall next to you seems to form a gigantic mouth with jagged teeth, and you recoil in terror. You can feel the psychic energy of an evil entity gathered up and embodied in the gaping maw that occupies the center of the wall. It's truly terrifying. You can feel the evil entity's psychic energy pushing down upon you like a 10-ton weight. You feel like shouting out that you will leave if it just will please not hurt you. The house itself seems possessed by some psychic entity that can alter the physical aspects of the house itself. It wants you out, and it seems intent on enforcing its demand. You tell yourself to be careful. This thing can probably not only swallow you whole, it can most likely also lobotomize you with a psychic attack. Well, I didn't think all these were options to deal with it. Either these were always present and I never noticed, or I added these at some point. I don't think so, though. I think these must have been present in the encounter normally. Alright, so you can see that the target number is pretty damn high on this encounter. So our best option is a psychic duel. I believe you can get wounded from this thing or get impairments as well, so this will be tricky. Fleeing is also an option. I don't think the mouth can follow us, but we'll try beating it once. Maybe twice, and if we fail twice, then we'll try running. You can sense an intelligence behind this possession. You decide to focus your psychic talents on driving back the psychokinetic turmoil that has manifested here. And what do we have here? Thoughts acquire speed, and what is this used for? Nothing. Okay. So we have a king and a knight. So let's use the knight now. And if we're lucky, we'll get to use that king. And we're not lucky. You enter a trance and push back on the local psychokinetic energy. Enery? The evil entity becomes enraged and strikes a powerful psychic blow. You fall to your knees in agonizing pain. We'll try that again. I don't think it's any easier, though. Oh, but we get a better hand. Assuming we can get swords and pentacles present up here, we will win. And we don't. Try that again. If I use the king, I think we win, so we'll use the king. And good thing you did. You enter a trance and push back on the local psychokinetic energy. It tries to invade your grasp, but you finally manage to contain it and disperse it to other areas of the house. No doubt the evil entity will reclaim it, but for now, you are safe. We get back to sanity that we lost. No experience, though. Let's double back to that wall and get that heart. The wall weeps blood in pulsing rivulets. You can hear the faint beating sound, or perhaps you're merely imagining it. It mixes with the broken plaster and pools at the base of the wall, draining slowly between the cracks in the floor. You notice a large gash that seems like a laceration. There is something evil and malign pulsing within the wall. Some eldritch sorcery has left its taint here as well. You should proceed with caution. You realize immediately that this is the weeping wall of which the bastardly face spoke. You force back your feelings of unease and thrust your hand into a large bloody rent in the wall and search for the heart within. I was lucky. We actually got 5 points over our target number. You guide your hand deeper and deeper into the wall until you are well past your elbow. You try and feel for the rhythmic vibration of the heart and move your hand towards it. Suddenly, you feel something hard and crystal-like. You utter the words of release and then grab it and wrench it free. So we have a cups penalty of -1 as long as we're carrying this along with us. And we got 2 courage, but we have nothing to spend it on. Let's see how difficult this will be to bring back. I mean, I want to bring it back anyway. -1 cups is a big penalty for us. Oh, okay. Let's cheat it. You feel the eldritch sorcery coursing through the heart like it really is pumping energy somewhere. You have an odd idea that you may be able to break the bond it has with the bas-relief face and claim it as your own. It would undoubtedly be an artifact of great power. The severing of the link might even destroy the manifestation outright. We don't want to fail this challenge. Let's see. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, we won. We won. You grip the heart in you hand. Bas relief. In you hand. I'll fix that. And hold it up in front of the bas relief face. It realizes your intent, but it is too late. You speak the oath of conversion that you recall from your knowledge of eldritch lore. The face screams in agony, and you hear it swear revenge as the energy is drained from it, and the cold stone face grows cold and empty. And the stone cold face grows cold and empty? I think I read that incorrectly. And the stone... I did. I did extra cold. Okay. We get the black heart now. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Nothing else. And this is why I wanted it. Let's see if it's as good as I remember. You receive +1 card draw and +1 trick cards for any evade trap challenge while this card is in your inventory. That will prove useful. I actually thought it was a little different. I thought this gave me 2 scry on all puzzle challenges. Maybe that was actually the reward for giving it back the heart. I don't have any more experience, right? Nope. We'll increase our wands next. Then maybe a cups again. And then another skill card. Or maybe we'll go for a perception edge. Suddenly, you look up and see 2 scything blades racing down the hallway at you. They are razor sharp and suspect that they might be able to cut you in half. You don't see anything coming at you in a stagger at a lower level. You decide that the smart move is under the blades. We have an excellent hand. Well, maybe not excellent. We do have 3 pages, a knight, and a king. It's a good hand. And of course, we pull a king of cups immediately. You don't want to fail trap challenges. And thankfully we didn't. You drop to the floor quickly just as the blade grazes your head. You see a bunch of papers spread out on the top of a desk. Among the clutter are an assortment of old envelopes, letters, and even a few parchment papers. You decide to search through the papers. You never know what type of useful information you might find here. You only get 1 chance at this, so don't fail this one on purpose if you think you want a better hand. You don't come across anything earth-shattering, but there's enough information here to boost your confidence that you're on the right track. It's a chance for like a little bit of experience points. We didn't get anything, though. It's also part of a quest. We'll probably be coming back there later. Hello. You're where the quest will be turned in at. But I think you're going to be the... I think you're the heads. So I'm just going to leave you there at the moment. Because we'll have to return the head to the wall. Oh, I missed this room. Let's double back. A clue. You feel an evil presence all around you. The house itself radiates evil. Oh, you thought at first it was some type of decorative statue, but as you get closer, you realize that it is a large stuffed animal. Its white fur, black nose, and ferocious claws reveal it to be a polar bear in point of fact. Suddenly, the polar bear begins to stir. A ghostly green vapor seems to be animating it. You have seen this type of possession before, and it never ends well. You find yourself fighting a wave of panic that threatens to turn your will into jelly. You've seen things far worse than this. After all, you have read the briefings on what actually happened to the Franklin expedition. This doesn't even raise an eyebrow compared to that. The stuffed polar bear is animated by a spirit of some sort. It doesn't read as evil, but you sense a tremendous rage behind it. It won't care what your intentions are. You are alive, and it isn't. It rears itself up on 2 feet and awaits your move. It obviously has no intention of fleeing. You sense that it feels cornered here, and intends to fight to the finish. Oh, we don't have a good chance of beating it. We could come back for it, but we're right here, so we'll try twice. You decide to use your mind to attack the spirit directly. That's not a bad hand. But we didn't get lucky. You lost the duel. Blood trickles out of every orifice that you have. We'll try that again. A worse hand. I can't play the queen yet. We'll try one more time. Oh, this is like the same hand we had the first time around. I can't play the king. Won the duel. You pop the head right off its shoulders. What do we do with that? Take the polar head to the polar bear, find the trophy room wall, and mount it there in the proper place. Your attention is drawn to a wall covered in mounted trophy heads. You recognize some of them as big game animals, but others are truly bizarre creatures. You see among others what might be a giant bat's head, a fish man of some sort, and a creature that could only be called a troglodyte. As you come closer, a growing sense of unease begins to dominate your thoughts. You are startled, and a chill shoots down your spine when you realize that the trophies are watching you. Their heads all turn slightly in unison as you approach. Your eyes widen in disbelief as you realize that the trophies are all mounted on the wall possessed by spirits. You can feel them probing your psychic defenses as they try and get into your head. Your defenses prevent the spirits from hurting you. The trophies gaze down at you with pleading eyes. You can sense that some of them want to make contact with you psychically. Others look like they would like to tear you apart if they had a body with claws or could get their fangs on you. There is definitely some type of strange sorcery involved here that is binding these spirits to the trophies. You can feel a wave of anger building slowly in the psychic space of this room. Someday soon, it's going to explode. You see the plaque that is missing, its head, neatly labeled polar bear. You wonder how it grew a body. Sorcery can work wonders, you guess. You mount the head back on the wall, and the spirit suddenly reanimates the head and tries to snap at you. The trophies seem to have grown even angrier with the return of their escaped member. Your psychic barriers are being assaulted on all sides. The sorcery that binds these spirits here is very powerful and very dangerous. You will need to leave soon, or the results could be bad. So we could try communicating with them. We would get a quest from them to kill the big game hunter and then return. I can't remember what the difference is, but I'm going to take what the big game hunter gives me this time. Something strange about this place keeps your eyes fixed on the wall. There is a strange sorcery here that draws life essence towards it. You will need all your willpower to turn and escape. You exert all your willpower to step away from this ensorelled wall. Step by step, you feel its power wane until you are suddenly free. Look at all the doors down this hallway. I don't think I've seen this before. Another staircase up. Okay. Do I have any completed quests that go over there? Just this one. We'll keep exploring this side of the house. We've already got 2 clue tokens on the first floor, so I don't think we're going to get another. Hello. Organ room. We didn't... What was in the other piano room? We didn't find anything over there, right? The gong, the painting. Probably the cursed organ is in this room. Look at all every room's got like 2 quests in it today. Or not every room, I guess, but many of them do. Your attention is drawn to an old tapestry hanging on the wall that depicts a medieval battle of some sort. It looks like it should be in a museum. Examining the battle scene a little closer, you immediately notice a large red hand that divides 2 groups of armored knights. Suddenly, the battle seems to come to life. Knights charge the hand on both sides and are knocked to the ground. You stare at it in amazement, wondering if you are hallucinating. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the battle unfolds before you. A ghostly vapor seems to enshroud the tapestry. You struggle to maintain your sanity. Cursed artifacts give you the creeps. You remember that night that you spent at the museum at the Miskatonic University. You still can't remember several days from that mission. Why'd we take this one then? We're bringing an artifact here. In order to get rid of the possession. This is obviously the key for the Red Hand card game ritual that you found earlier. You decide to examine the tapestry more closely to decipher the key. This might be risky. That's a good hand. 2 kings. And I don't need to use Thoughts Acquires Feed. What does this do again? Roll 1 bone, select X revealed non-face trick cards, and bump their values down, then draw a card. Okay. Not the best feat in the world either. You almost didn't see it at first, but the key is built into the movements of the 2 armies of knights as they prance around the battlefield. You quickly note down their corresponding cards and their locations. Let's... In a rare move, I'm going to go for a Persuasion Deception edge. It's early on. If I can get that, that would help us get other quests. So we'll try for that. Normally, I would never do this. It would be almost always better to go for another stat-producing card. Stats, in my opinion, are more important to get up to 4 or so before you try to go for edges or something. Only because they affect all the encounters you have immediately. Edges, well, yeah, that's right. Like flee or traps, cups. Pentacles, I'm sorry, it's cups and swords or cups and wands. As opposed to fighting, like that's swords and cups or wands and pentacles, etc., etc. You will almost always have a chance to make use of your stats, as opposed to edges and feats, which you don't. You see before you a large and ornate Baroque pipe organ. The bench before it sits empty. Suddenly, your ears are filled with the haunting sound of music resounding from the organ's pipe. The melody is terrifying, and you watch astonished as a ghostly vapor encompasses a musical instrument. You struggle to keep your fear in check. The haunting music threatens to drown you in a sea of melancholy and despair. Something supernatural possesses this musical instrument, and you must resist its effort to chip away at your sanity. We'll win. Good thing I did. You shield yourself by humming a simple show tune that's bothered you for the last few months. You chuckle ironically at the fact that such a bad jingle that annoyed you for so long actually came in handy. You stand before the pipe organ and struggle to make sense of what you have just seen and more importantly heard. There is a powerful spirit bound to this musical instrument via some nefarious sorcery or curse. You can feel the anger and rage building within it. You suspect it is getting ready to assault your mind again. You seek to use your talents as a medium to contact the spirit inhabiting the pipe organ and divine what it is that it binds it to this world. If you can figure out what is holding it from returning to the spirit world, you might be able to free it. You know what? I'm just going to fail this one. You reach out with your mind and recoil at the enormity of the pain that confronts you. The negative energy that has accumulated around this nexus is astonishing. Its attack leaves you nearly unconscious and in great pain. Or nothing happens, which is even better. Again, a better hand. We'll go for the victory for this one. Your mind establishes contact with the spirit. You recognize immediately that what you are dealing with is the agony of hundreds of tormented souls. No, not souls, but a psychic pain that still resonates within the pipe organ. They want something of you. You think that you finally understand what you are confronting. The disembodied death agony of hundreds of souls has accumulated in the pipe organ either by design or accident. The negative energy manifests itself as a single entity, a self-aware super spirit of anger and rage. You suspect that you are witnessing the end result of many a black mass and vile sacrifice. It wants your help to free itself to seek retribution. Many years ago, it was sabotaged by the will of its creator. It needs you to seek out its missing parts and a sheet of music that can release its trapped rage. First, find the grandfather clock where the missing parts are hidden. Then confront and destroy the evil organ master ghost that has weaved the binding spell and hid the missing parts. It possesses a sheet of music that, when played, will break the curse. You discovered a secret wooden door. It blends in almost seamlessly with the wall, but your keen senses were still able to detect it. Finding it is one thing. Figuring out how to open it is another. You examine the door and decide that you might be able to figure out how to activate the door. Not many tricks, but we have lots of draw. And that lets us open the door. Hello, King of Pentacles. That's a shame. You search around the door for anything of note and quickly zero in on some promising locations. After fiddling around with several bumps and nooks, the mechanism clicks and the door slowly opens. There's the way down. All right. You see a large marble fireplace decorated with ornate sculptures, but what really astonishes you is the fire burning within the hearth. The flames dance around and lick the walls of the fireplace, almost as if some type of living entity were kept in it. Then it strikes you. A demonic face appears in the flames, and the sudden realization that this creature has noticed you sends a wave of horror rolling over you. You struggle to keep calm and not give in to panic. You're looking straight in the face of some type of flaming evil horror. It seeks to dominate your mind, and you know that you must not let that happen. Hello, Queen. Guess what? We have the king this time. We have the king this time. Holy pentacles. Your will is stronger than this evil creature of flame. You force it out of your mind and hold on to your sanity. The face in the fire smiles at you. This demonic creature must have been bound to the fireplace. How long ago and by whom are questions that you cannot answer. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. Not by whom. You cautiously step forward so that you can examine the situation in more detail. The demon seems contained within the hearth, but you have no idea how strong his binding there is. Something strange is going on here. You sense the opportunity to communicate with the demon and perhaps find out how it was bound here and for what purpose. Holy crap! Look at that. That's a lot of face cards. Using the lost sign language of Child Ash, you establish contact with the demon. The demon states that it was recently bound here by an acolyte claiming to serve some dark master. It's clear that the demon thought the human insane and dabbling in things that were way over his head. The acolyte somehow managed to find a list of demonic names and binding rituals in some forgotten tome. The demon says that the acolyte would write them on small enchanted slips of paper. He believes his own name to be in the acolyte's pocket. He perished a few short hours ago when he foolishly attempted to summon and bind another demon, but got the slips of paper mixed up. Find the acolyte's body, then bring the name to the demon, and he will reward you. I normally actually give the paper back to that demon. You don't easily give up, and don't like to be told to get out. All successful sorcery challenges have a 10% chance of generating a random game charge card from a no result card while this story icon is active. That doesn't help us because we don't have any spells. And with that token drawn, we probably should stop the video here. So let's summarize what's happened in this video. So, we discovered that this side of the mansion was a dead end. We couldn't actually just back around and explore this. So we double backed. We completed one quest so far, right? One or two quests? I think one quest so far. We are ready to complete this one and this one, kind of. We picked up a few more quests. We've gotten some experience points, we've increased our wands, we've increased our cups, and we've gained another skill card, Athletic Specialist, after being pretty unhappy with the device or whatever it was, specialist I picked. Normally, everyone, I don't cheat, but I don't view that as cheating. I view that as, oh my god, it was this card. Not for this character, didn't want it for this character. Once we get this Persuasion Deception Edge, the next thing we will do is grab another skill card, something that I think will improve our Pentacles score. Alright everyone, well that'll do it for us at the moment. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care everyone.